Somebody should have got a notification.
Oh, my phone's on the table.
My phone's in the chair. I don't care. Yeah, Candace.
Where is it coming through? Facebook? Through Facebook?
No, your phone, period.
Yep, I just got it.
Oh, yep, just came through. Yep. Oh, we are live.
Yep, I just got it. Yep, I just got it.
5 second delay.
There won't be no delaying.
Say it. 5 second delay. Maybe 7 seconds.
Whose sound is up?
That was mine. Ironic because it never is up.
Got that right. And that's what she said.
When Courtney called, she got me.
Okay.
When she needed me, I was there.
You answered?
How do you think I talked to her?
Thought you Tyler Durden, star 69.
That's what you do. Even your wife said that.
You star 69. There's the sun.
Wait a minute, what y'all talking about? 69?
Not y'all. Not one y'all.
Star 69.
Oh. I'm a star. Baby, I'm a
Big ups to Prince.
star.
What's good, man? DJ Nichols, man. You feeling all right?
Pretty good. Yo! All right. Peep the move, y'all. We took a hiatus. Long hiatus. Long hiatus.
From what?
I don't know.
We was never out there in the first place.
We was getting started.
Welcome to the first broadcast.
Exactly.
2023.
So, all right. We are the Grandpops of hip hop. Did I say Grim?
You say Grum Pops.
I'm from Philly. Huh?
So is he.
Grant. We are the Grandpops. We are the Grandpops. That don't even sound right.
Grandpops of hip hop.
Grandpops.
Grandpops.
What exactly does that
He
mean?
went to Sherman School of Speaking. The Dilts.
Where
You're in the dip.
We're grandfathers who love hip hop.
Now, if you say grandfathers, why can't you say grandpops? Why can't you do the same
I
sound?
said we're the Grandpops of hip hop. I didn't say it right.
It's not coming. It's not coming the same way when you say
maybe
grandfathers.
it's too fast. Say it slow.
We're the grandpas.
Grandpas.
Hip hop.
What you got in that glass, man?
What does it mean? it means
Grand.
yeah. Well, yours truly, DJ Nichols, aka Pop Hop.
Rolling with Reese, aka Pops.
What's good, y'all? This is Fleet, aka J-Pop.
And so, what does it mean? It means we're all grandfathers.
Yeah.
I'm a grandfather, yes.
Who loves hip hop?
And I love hip hop.
Love hip hop. Not quite as much as being a grandfather, but it's a pretty close second.
So that would be according to this class that I'm in. That's the niche.
You ain't graduate yet?
It's the niche. Is it niche or niche?
It depends on who you are.
I've been hearing a niche a hell of a lot lately.
Niche is the proper term, but we in America always say things differently. So we
Yeah,
say
everybody
niche.
I heard is in America. So I used to say niche,
It's niche is the proper pronunciation.
but
How do you know that's the proper?
Because my mom, she's proper as hell.
Says who?
You met my mom?
Yeah, I met your mom.
She's proper.
So who says she's not right? She's wrong. Maybe she's wrong. Maybe she's right.
I doubt it.
Huh?
I doubt it. But dictionary niche is what the first enunciation is.
We're already going off on a tangent. Listen,
we ain't started.
we didn't start.
all right. So yeah, we took a long hiatus, about a couple years to be exact.
Damn.
It was the pandemic. We was going in the middle of the pandemic.
And the making life.
I don't know, but
Anyway, we back.
yeah.
Appreciate y'all support.
Today's topic: self-destruct. No. Okay. All right. Because we are the Grandpops of hip hop. Did I say it again?
No, fuck it.
Let it
That's
go.
good.
Let it
I'm
ride. Let it ride.
Just let it ride?
Let it
All right.
ride.
because we are grandfathers and we love hip hop. I think in 2023 we need to define the elements of hip hop.
All right. First of all, how many elements
4, 5,
of
7.
hip hop?
According to Google, there are 5. According to Google, I can look it up now, but according to Google,
So
they say that there are 5.
MCing, DJing, breakdancing, graffiti, and beatboxing.
Is that the Google one or is that the other one?
I don't know. I didn't look at Google.
Let's see. So I'm just going to put it in. What are the elements of hip hop? That'll clarify because I'm not asking. All right. Google says the 5 elements of hip hop: MCing, DJing, breaking, graffiti, and beatboxing.
Your 5 different order.
But who was it? African Mambata?
What?
Who added a 6th?
I don't know. I don't know about the 6. I mean, I've heard fashion and language and street knowledge, and
It's street knowledge.
I've heard not by any old school folks, but
Because right underneath of that it says, "What are the 7 elements of hip hop?"
and what are they?
It's a little windy.
Yeah, it is.
Excuse the noise, y'all.
DJing, MCing, graffiti, beatboxing, breakdancing, beat making / producing, and language. I don't get that.
So they're
I don't get that.
Slang.
So they're strictly talking music related elements, not like the whole culture. When they added those two again related to music. Fashion is part of culture, street knowledge is part of culture, but is it an element?
I'm going with 5.
I'm gonna stick with the 5.
So when you now there's 4. Now here's 10. What are the 10 elements?
So
of
they're gonna
hip-hop?
Come on, man.
they're gonna put in lyrics or something like that. And if it's 10, they got to.
Street fashion, breakdancing, MCing, graffiti art, DJing, beatboxing, street fashion, language, knowledge, and entrepreneurship. Okay,
See, that's not an element of
that's-
hip hop.
getting,
That's not an element at all. Not an element. Stick with the 5.
DJing. I'm definitely in agreement with that.
Yes, I am too.
MCing,
Definitely.
graffiti,
Might be top 1.
breakdancing, beatboxing. Oh, wait a minute, I'm on the wrong one. That was okay. Hip hop. Okay. MCing, DJing, breaking, graffiti, and beatboxing. But I mean, 2023. Who beatbox besides?
So let me ask you a question. That's what
Dougie
you're saying.
Fresh?
When you look at that list, breaking and beatboxing is not really something that people do anymore.
Right.
It's an element of it. Then
Hold on. What did you say?
they don't do it to the level they used to do it before.
What you said? Breaking?
Breaking and
Yeah, they do.
not to the level it used to be. I'm not saying they don't do it at all.
No, it's even greater.
In Japan,
It's not just Japan,
Japan is still like their main thing to do.
but breakdancing is still
It still exists, but it's not as forefront as it used to be. That's all I'm saying.
maybe not to you.
I still say it's there. I'm just saying
When
you
open
watch,
you can open up Instagram or Facebook and
yeah, but when you turn on the
always-
videos back when we were growing up, everybody was breakdancing the videos. You don't have that anymore. That's all I'm saying. It's not in the forefront as it used to be.
not necessarily. And I disagree.
Okay, you have a right to.
I disagree. I think breakdancing is still. I mean, if you want to say that, then graffiti.
All of them still exist. I'm not saying they don't exist. I just saying their prominence in what you see every day is not what it used to be. That's all I'm saying.
Somebody got a punch or a
You want
cutter.
the V or which one?
I want the cut. Thank you. You saying? Oh, okay. We all agree tonight. America has a very serious problem.
So we probably looking too deep into it because if you want to get technical, how many hip hop artists of today have DJs, and they might have somebody just putting a record on, but who's out there cutting and scratching, and
Right.
you know, it's different.
Yeah, like who's
Think-
paired up.
Things evolve. You know, everything
Mhm.
evolves, and so
So in
hip-hop.
today's world, should we be redefining the elements of hip hop?
No.
Like I said, everything evolves, but to me, I wouldn't touch it.
You can add to it maybe, but I wouldn't change it.
If you add to it, then you add
No,
more
I'm
to five.
saying you still keep those same 5. But like you said, with evolution, things become dominant and prominent. So that might need to be something who's added into it. But it doesn't mean you take away from something that's already there, because that is where it started.
I think we need to redefine it. Who would do it? Who would do it?
Now, in today's world,
Yeah, who would do that?
so
I mean, we're entering the 50th the anniversary of hip hop, which is the 50th year of hip hop. Who would do that? Like, who has the authority?
the only people that have the authority to do that is old school rappers, and I don't think they would change a thing. That's my opinion.
Do you think that it needs to be? Okay, so you're saying just don't change the thing, just leave it the way it is, and let's just keep on rocking.
Yep. First of all, hip hop today is not what it used to be. And to me, it might even need a subcategory. The shit that comes out today that they call hip hop. And like I said, I understand everything changes, but to purists and the guys that was there from the start, it's not hip hop. Or it's not the same hip hop. So maybe it needs a subcategory.
So you're saying what's on the radio today is not hip hop?
Most of it.
What is it?
I don't know.
Rap?
A different kind.
Maybe.
You have mumble rap and stuff like that. So yeah,
specific.
It's still rap. Mumble rap is still rap, but that.
But I'm saying, so you're if you want to change, you can't say change this, but not change that. So if you're gonna change the elements of hip hop, you got to say we got to change the classification of rap. You can't do one and not the other. So you can't sit there and say it's still rap, but will not get specific. You want to sit there and say the elements have changed.
Well, no.
But you had
I said rap. He said it's not hip hop.
Right.
But back in the day, you had gangster rap, you had conscious rap, but it was all considered
social.
It was all considered hip hop.
It was all considered hip hop.
Yeah. To me, it took a left turn. And you still got guys out there like J. Cole and Kendrick and R.J. Payne, and they still add the new flair, but keep it grounded to how it used to be. But then you got guys like, I don't even know these guys.
When you say keep it grounded, I don't even think they're keeping it grounded. I think they just that's what they grew up on. So that's like a KRS-One.
Mm-hmm.
He's never altered his style. Right? He's going to continue to keep rapping and knocking down shows and just being the best performer that he could possibly be. But KRS-One is hip hop.
Oh, definitely.
But J. Cole is hip hop.
Yes.
And I think Kendrick is hip hop.
Yes. I said those. I said those guys.
Mm-hmm.
To me, they're hip hop.
How about Drake?
Subcategory.
So, Reese, are you saying that? And I'm just trying to clarify so I can answer his question. So, for you, the type of rap that you were talking about because it had a meaning or a purpose behind it, had somewhere it came from, versus just radio play stuff that people just put on the radio just to put on the radio. So you're separating those two.
Style.
I agree.
It's watered down.
It's not the same as what it used to be. It's not. And it does evolve too. I get it, but
So if there's 5 elements of hip hop, right? Then breaking, graffiti, and beatboxing, they've all fallen by the wayside.
not falling by the wayside. They're still there.
They're still there, but they're not prevalent.
That's what I was saying in the beginning. And you told me no, you disagree.
In the quote unquote radio friendly,
I didn't say that. I was talking about the hip hop we're talking about now.
but you were saying how it's just okay. Say what you said again.
I said that the elements that we have, the breaking, the graffiti, beatboxing, they're not as dominant in what we hear and see and what we live day to day as it was when we grew up. When we grew up and hip hop was really originated and setting ground, and people were finding their niche and finding their way of doing stuff. Like you said, people had
He said niche.
People had their reasons behind their music. Most of them were said, not everybody, but like BDP, they were social conscious awareness type rappers. They were educating you on stuff that you weren't going to necessarily learn in your school system. They talked about that stuff. They brought awareness to what was going on in the streets of New York as well across the world, from police violence to whatever was going on. NWA did something, but it was more gangster style, but they still were talking about what they were living every day. Stuff you hear today, people aren't talking about necessarily what they're living. They're commercializing it and making it more materialistic than it was back when we grew up. Like for instance, Tupac was a very social aware person, and that came through in his music. You know, I'm trying to call anybody up, but like a Soldier Boy. What's he talking about?
I mean, he's hip hop.
I didn't say that. I just said, what's he talking about?
Yeah, but you can argue that about a lot of people. I mean, that's in our eyes because we're 50 plus years old.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. So for us, what we see as hip hop and how we define it is going to be based off of the era that we loved and where it originated. So it's going to be different than looking at what they listen to today. So our answers, our opinions are going to be different. It may not encompass the 50 years. It may only encompass the first 25 or 30 years because it changed, it evolved. And we don't necessarily see that on the same level that we saw our stuff, because it impacted us personally because of what we were going through and they were going through, because those cats were our ages. Mm-hmm. So we related to them. The young people relate to the younger people. We don't relate to them as much, and we don't see it because we just see things differently.
Y'all mess with anybody who's of the younger generation right now?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Like you said, Kendrick's one of them.
J. Cole and Jid.
J. Cole.
R.J. Payne.
Yeah.
Russell. Nims. Griselda.
Ain't they older?
Are they? Are they? No. No.
No.
No, they're younger than us.
All right. Not far. My bad.
40s.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm gonna look it up. You spell that.
Yeah, rap is just taking on new meaning. That's all.
Just put Benny the Butcher.
They got their own label, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Griselda Records, right?
Mm-hmm.
Founded in 2012. I know that.
For 11 years.
gonna say hello there.
Ask a specific question.
Yeah.
How old is Conway the Machine?
And you got Conway up here. Let's see. Benny, I know Benny's up here. Okay.
How old is
Technology.
Conway the Machine?
According to Wikipedia,
Oh, Benny was born in 1984. All right.
Yeah.
He was young.
Conway is 41.
All right.
Yeah, I fucks with them.
What about DJing? I mean, even DJing is not what it once was.
That's what I said. You don't see groups come out and
Have a DJ.
profile the DJ if they have one.
Right.
They don't get a DJ a set.
That's because
They don't make records about the DJ like Jam Master J or Grandmaster D,
Houdini and all them, yeah.
Bobcat and all them guys.
right. But DJing is still at the front when it comes to the elements,
Yes.
not breakdancing, like you said.
Right.
Not breakdancing. Graffiti, no. I mean, is it as that? I mean, graffiti at one point in time was
I'm talking about graffiti, not just tagging. Talking about real graffiti.
graffiti. Well, tagging is a part of graffiti.
But see, tagging still goes on, but it's not on the same art level as what we used to do. Like we used to do, your
Trains.
murals underneath bridges and trains, stuff like that. It's not the same. Tagging's a little different.
I think it's well.
I mean,
graffiti was always underground.
if you want to be technical, if someone draws a swastika, that's graffiti. But it's not hip hop.
No, that's racist.
But it's still graffiti by definition. It's a form of tagging.
Okay.
So I don't want to group everything under one umbrella and limit it to just that and say that it all qualifies. Anybody can take a spray can and put it on the wall. Let's make it graffiti.
You just said if somebody draws a swastika.
No.
it's
I
graffiti.
said that's not graffiti. It's not even tagging, but it's a form of tagging. Because graffiti is an art.
So if I just go get my spray paint can, I just tag this whole table. That's
To me, that's tagging, but it's not on the art form that graffiti once was.
okay.
It's not on that level.
That's vandalism.
That's vandalism. Well, graffiti is vandalism unless you have permission. I mean, when you did graffiti on all those trains, that was not allowed.
That was vandalism.
That was vandalism.
I got approval to do this.
That's
right.
That's what you said to the cop.
Mm-hmm.
According to the elements glossary, break, breaking, break. See, now this is going even further into number one, the break, short for breakdown. The break is part of a song.
That's the DJ.
Yeah, that's part of the DJ. But then number three is DJ. The DJ existed before hip hop. That's what it says. The DJ existed before hip hop.
Which is true.
That's before it became hip hop. That's according to Grandmaster Caz when he was telling that story on Drink Champs.
Mm-hmm.
Who was it? Who was in the service? No, that wasn't Cowboys. It was somebody. I forget the story how he said it, but he said it was a cadence.
Oh yeah, I think it was Cowboy. Somebody from the Furious Five, yeah.
Probably Cowboy.
Or the Furious Four.
Right. Freestyle, flow, bars. They're going real deep. think we need to redefine the elements of hip hop.
All right, so
I think whoever it is, being the 50th anniversary, I think somebody needs to come to the table, and it needs to be redefined.
so I know who's qualified, but I don't think they would change anything. And that's the Blast Master.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that too.
Would you think he would change anything?
No, because he's too old school.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
qualification, somebody that's been in the game for years. If you get somebody, I don't know, man. I don't know. Who's
Then we
going to
need to-
respect that?
because it's fashion. Is fashion a part of? Is that an element? Fashion?
It's not an element.
That's not an element.
It's not an element. It's part of hip hop. I don't think it's an element.
And what about?
Hold up, guys. Well, y'all go ahead and continue.
And what about beatboxing?
It's definitely an element. Because we don't do it as much as they used to. It's still an element.
Why? Why don't they do it? I mean, Dougie Fresh still does it.
But he's old school.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a new school cat.
Right.
Who's doing beatboxing. Those are still old school fellas.
Yeah, beatboxing, graffiti. What did I say?
Lyrics.
Huh?
You talking about the lyrics. Well, first you talked about the break for the DJ.
Right. No, I said breaking, breakdancing, graffiti, and beatboxing. Those three are, they have, okay, if they haven't fallen by the wayside, they have been put on the back burner.
They have decreased in popularity.
All right. But MCing and DJing are still at the forefront of all of that. Yeah. All right.
So if Google, I don't think that's a specific order of how, which element was ranked first and second, third, fourth, fifth. I don't think that's an order, but if you would put them in order, then yes, MCing and DJing would be 1 and 2, and the other ones would have to be 3, 4, and 5. But going back to the fashion, so
fashion, look, drinking, smoking.
So fashion is a subculture of hip hop. Definitely. Is it an element? It can be argued either way. I'm going to say this. From the beginning of rap, there's always been a look that people have wanted to have to identify themselves as part of their identity. Run DMC at the Kangols, the leather, Adidas, everybody had something to identify. The Dookie chains or the fat chains of any kind.
These on my side.
Yep. These on my feet.
These on my feet. So fashion
is I don't know if I can sit there and say that if I'm going to add a 6th one in, fashion would be my 6th, because even to this day, there's still a fashion code that goes along with it. Now, it's much more lax than what it used to be, but it still exists. And I'm not talking about just with the people who do the music. I'm talking about with the people who live the culture.
Because see, beatboxing, you could say beat making. That's all in the same category. Beat making, beatboxing. When you beatbox, what are you doing? You're making a beat.
Well,
and then that's a form of making and producing.
75 to 80% of the time, yes. But like when Dougie did it, it wasn't always about that. I mean, he used to do telephone rings, all kinds of stuff. That was entertainment that went along to his stories and his lyrics and his rap. It wasn't necessarily to carry the beat all the time.
No, that was definitely carry the beat. That's he's making it. He's making the beat.
For example, here's a telephone ring. It's not to carry the beat. It's actually part of the song.
Yes, yeah, but that's a part of the song. I mean,
Right. Anything's part of the song, but that doesn't mean you carry the beat because you put something in there. I'm rapping to a beat.
Mm-hmm. No, he's not in right now. But anyway, heard all that.
You know, so it's not. I don't think it's absolute, but I think it's
Y'all talk about liquor now.
beatboxing.
But I did say drinking, smoking. But I said we was talking about fashion, and then I said beatboxing can be also a part of beat making and producing.
Yes.
But I said it's not exclusive to that.
No, because back in the day, beatbox.
Damn, have a little
I know, right? He was only halfway gone. He filled that back up. But since you got it over,
no. I put some juice in it.
Oh, okay.
I put some cranberry in there. It was gone.
Some Rimpa.
This podcast is sponsored by
Fun.
Fun, baby.
All right, so go ahead about beatboxing. Yeah. So what I was saying is beatboxing back in the day was his own. It didn't need a DJ or to be a part of a song. It could carry the beat and be the entire rhythm.
Fat Boys,
which has happened on
Skinny
many
Boys.
songs. Many songs have done that. But I also said that to me, it's not exclusive to that because, for example, here's a telephone ring. That wasn't actually made to carry the beat. It was part of the story in his song. So
for example,
the telephone, that kind of stuff. So it's essential. It's critical. It's an element. But I just said that it's not 100% exclusive to just carrying or making a beat. That's all.
And back up some because what did you say about fashion?
Yeah, it's not an element. It is part of hip hop, or at least it used to be. Right now, it's what it is. Anything goes.
I think that if you were going to redefine, I think fashion should.
I said if I were to add a sixth one, fashion would be probably what I add in next.
So what would be the fashion of hip hop today?
Today is it's lax, but back then.
No, well, if we're redefining it, we're talking about now, right?
Right.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So motherfuckers come out with skirts now, and rap
and pink outfits. Yeah.
So or shoulder bags. Like, is that part of it?
That's all a part of fashion because
is that a part of hip hop fashion?
I would
no, and I'm gonna tell you why. Just because I'm a now artist and I decide to do something that people know me for does not make it a hip hop fashion statement.
Right. So that's my point. I don't think it's an element in today's hip hop.
In today's no, and yesterday's yes.
Right. So that's right. Exactly. So that's why I'm saying if we redefine it, I don't think it.
Yeah, if we're redefining it for today, then no, fashion would not be on that list.
Well,
it couldn't be.
If we're talking about yesterday's hip hop, then you have to include it.
Correct. I could see it being the sixth element.
All right.
In yesterday's, not today.
That's why I asked the question. If we're redefining it, are we talking about now? Redefining it for the next 50 years?
No, not this point. As of today, no. 5 years from now, maybe, but right now, no.
So where did drinking and smoking and where did that play a part?
So back then, it wasn't something that you necessarily put into your rap all the time because it wasn't what people were talking about back then. What people talked about then was what was going on in their neighborhood, when they walked out their door, looked out their window, when they went to school, when they went down to the corner market. That's what that was about back then, how they lived.
Or it's telling the story.
Or telling the story, yeah. Well, I'm sorry, all that under the story, right? All that under the story element. So that was that. Now, it existed, but you weren't hearing Run DMC, LL Cool J, Curtis Blow talking about drinking and smoking. You know, Grandmaster Flash.
They were doing it.
Yes, but they weren't talking about it.
Beastie Boys.
And they were one of the first ones who really put it out there, drinking with Brass Monkey and all that stuff. You know what I mean? They were the first, not the first ones, but they were one of the early ones who really kept it prominent. It became acceptable in everyone's eyes, probably starting with that and then after that, because everyone started to say, okay, well, let me put this in and see what happens. Let me put this in and see what happens. But it wasn't necessarily.
Let me put this in.
Let me sit there and talk about me smoking or this kind of stuff,
okay.
you know, see what happens, or, you know, that kind of stuff. But, you know, there's nothing that LL ever said about smoking.
Who?
LL.
Yeah, pink cookies in a plastic bag getting crushed by buildings.
It's fucked up to make that song.
That was.
You had to be fucked up to make that song.
Again, I'm not saying they weren't doing it. I'm just saying in their lyrics.
Not saying it wasn't a dope song. I'm just saying to think of that shit.
Yeah, you had to be on.
You
There
had
was a
to-
lot
you
of
had to
stuff.
be on.
But, you know, it wasn't what you did back then. You know, that wasn't
He
the
also
thing.
told you to pass the Heineken and mind
And
your
your
business.
business.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
he did. But it wasn't prevalent like it has been for the last maybe 20 years.
Redman said, "I keep the 40 between my lap, cool and rolling down the highway." So it was.
He told you how to roll a blunt.
I think
how about
he
that?
did. And I
Yeah.
think with NWA, especially with Snoop, 'cause that's all he talks about. Half his,
Rolling down the street smoking endo,
I mean,
sipping on gin and juice.
you know, the West Coast kind of brought that, and the South a little bit too, kind of brought that more to the forefront than the East Coast did.
Who made that song? OE.
Cookie 900. Oh no.
No. Schoolie did Cookie 900, right?
School.
Who he did? Who
No,
did
I
Cokie
know.
900?
It was like it was a parody of Rakim's song, right? Was it King? No, not King T.
See, and that's what I was thinking
King
about
T?
OE though.
Okay. I drank gold.
I think it was
That's the song you talk about, right? I drank gold.
no. Go ahead,
All
we'll
right.
table that. I got something in my head, but I don't know if I'm making that shit up. So we'll
right.
table
So,
that.
so are there 5 or 6 or 7 elements of hip hop?
5.
5.
5. All right. Fashion definitely not going to get included.
Mm-mm.
I'm sticking with the original 5.
Sticking with the original 5.
And I believe it was only 4. I don't even think
remember
I think
4.
beatboxing came a little later. Not in the form of it, but
right
as an element.
So
I
let me ask
believe
you
the
a question.
original 4 excluded.
So let me ask you a question.
Beatbox.
Are the elements based off what all artists did? Because if that's the case, then that's why beatboxers came later, because everybody wasn't beatboxing.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot.
Right.
It wasn't a lot.
So
And it definitely wasn't, it was only a handful of good ones. You know?
Yeah, definitely that. I mean, everybody did it, but that doesn't mean you did it well.
Right. And you had people do it like Reddy Roxy,
Mm-hmm.
but he wasn't really known.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he wasn't
Right.
officially part of Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince.
He was but he wasn't.
Yeah,
But
but
he went on tour with him.
He went on tour and did a song or two or something. But I mean, you know, he wasn't.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
He's never a main artist.
right.
So Africa Bambaataa, according to this one, the 5 pillars of hip hop.
5 pillars.
5 pillars. Of
Okay.
hip hop. I mean, 5 elements, 5 pillars. They said formulated by DJ Africa Bambaataa,
Mhm.
right? Who's still around?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he should come to the forefront and start. I think fashion should be in there though. I mean, Run DMC.
But again,
Adidas,
like Haris said, that's talking about what happened back then. If we talk about now, fashion would not be included. So you say you want to redefine, that means you can't go backwards. You have to pick up where we are.
See, and that's where I'm at. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
We're talking about now moving forward.
Right. The old definition of it, yeah, I could definitely see an argument for it to be included because I think it probably should be too. But we're talking about now. I say no.
Say no.
Mm-hmm. In today's hip hop world, hip hop nation, fashion would not be included.
And I'm on the record for saying I don't think it should have been included back then. Even though it was a part of it, I don't think it was an element. Fashion.
Today's topic: self-destruction.
See, and I'm not. So my argument to that, Reese, is that it had to be because. So back then, fashion was part of who defined you as your arcade, part of your identity, as well as the fact that Adidas was the shoe of choice for hip hop artists, male and female. Everyone was wearing Adidas. That was what they did when they were out there. They had their white with black stripes. Everybody changed out the laces. They changed out the fat laces, the York laces. They changed them out. But Adidas,
no, I think
Puma.
Yeah,
I'm saying Adidas is the forefront. I'm saying
Puma was heavy. Puma was heavy.
they had Puma,
breakdancing.
And they would change out the laces too.
They had
with the suede joints.
with the Alessis. They did the same thing. They changed those out too. They just because you think about it now, Todd ones and the Coq Sportif, all those were sweatsuits that were part of hip hop.
The Coq Sportif didn't get on the scene until Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
No, LL wore the Coq Sportif.
He wore Todd one, right?
He wore Todd one too. He had the Coq Sportif and a couple things too.
But
Todd one was his main.
They
And
Coq
True,
Sportif, they were Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince got sponsored by them.
I believe it, but people were wearing it before them. I mean, they weren't the first ones to ever wear it.
Saying they made it popular.
Yeah, they added to it. Yeah, they definitely took it another level.
I mean,
because when I had my Lacoste Sportif, it wasn't because of Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince, because I had mine before when I was running track.
Run DMC put Lee's and Adidas on the map
And leather.
Yeah, leather.
And the hats.
yeah, I was going to
Kangos,
say. Was that the fedoras? Was they Kangos?
Those are boleros, not fedoras.
Huh?
They didn't have fedoras; they were boleros.
Yeah, but they weren't Kango.
They weren't Kangos. No.
Jay Master Jay had it. He wore Kangos, I think, before running and
yeah, they all wore Kangos too.
Mm-hmm.
And L always
had a Kango. He was known for that.
Mm-hmm.
Right, LL did, yeah.
He this day still he throws something on. It's usually a Kango. But Curtis had everything.
And I think fashion is more of region or location.
Definitely.
Because motherfuckers was wearing Adidas before hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Run DMC they was already wearing that shit. They just decided to throw it up and talk about it.
Right.
And then Adidas said, "Hey, we're gonna sponsor you."
They had it, yeah. They were wearing that with their outfits, like you said, when they promoted it.
Just like in the West Coast, they wearing the flannel,
Mm-hmm.
the flannel shirts and the house shoes with the slippers.
Yep.
Khakis.
Okay.
So that's part of the
when
location.
So when we say fashion, right? Is jewelry a part of the fashion, or is that separate?
Oh,
I'm gonna say that it became part of fashion
it's part of the fashion. It just wasn't as accessible to something like a pair of Lees. You might pay $19.99 for a pair of Lees, but to get a 3-finger ring,
everybody couldn't afford that just yet.
Dope dealers could.
Are they part of hip hop because they're dope dealers?
Great question. Are they?
No.
I don't know.
I'm just saying we're talking about hip hop, and you brought up dope dealers, so I'm just trying to figure out how they play into hip hop.
But they were they played all the hip hop.
They were the ones who afforded it.
Huh?
They just the ones who could afford certain things that we couldn't. The average person couldn't back then.
And play the music and get your music out there and sponsor the parties.
Play the music in the whip, the fat whip with the booming system.
C to the O to the O to the L to the I.
So then that would be no, I guess you can't say cars.
Not
Again,
not it came later,
Not-
but still,
Right.
there was a
Yeah, because so the elements are surrounded by no money. Right.
I mean, you could look at that and surmise that yes.
no money and passion.
I don't think that's what they sat down and talked about when they decided what the 5 elements were. But once the list was done, that was a commonality. Yes.
Gotta go home and look that up. No,
Homework.
yeah,
Write that down.
definitely what
I
Africa.
thought he was reaching for a pen. This nigga pick up a cigar.
I gotta beat all that. I gotta be the N word.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Side note: as of midnight last night, marijuana is legal in Delaware.
Yeah. I saw that.
Is it
Yes.
really?
Yes.
As of midnight last
As of
night?
So
midnight last night, or this morning, however you
it's
want to look at it.
legal without.
Oh, you mean it's legal for recreation?
Yes, it's recreational legal.
Yeah, but they didn't go through the
So-
necessary channels to make it legal.
So what happened was, so this came a couple years ago, and Carney wouldn't sign it. He vetoed it.
All right, this is a tangent.
Yeah,
Off topic.
We cool.
Okay.
We cool.
And it came back again as a bipartisan bill. And the way it was written this time was, even if Carney doesn't sign it, it's going to go to effect by a certain date, which is midnight last night.
Mhm.
After midnight hit Sunday, today, it became legal because the way it worked was if Carney didn't sign because the state body said yes and agreed to it, it would become legal if he didn't do anything, if he didn't act on it at all. So he chose not to act. So he just tells everybody, I never signed it, so I'm not for it, but I didn't veto it, so I'm not against it. So it works in his favor when it comes to discussing stuff with voting and stuff.
Data man.
So Delaware is now recreational,
Mm-hmm.
and they just lock you out.
Sound like it, but that's all right.
Yep, he came back. See,
I mean, I like this.
See what I gotta go through, man.
he must have heard you.
See what I gotta go through.
Yeah, that was them leaving already.
Man,
They couldn't wait to get out of here.
that boy good. Yeah, hip hop, like everything else, evolves, and unlike everything else, it should be kept up with as it evolves to keep it current and keep it accurate. So I agree that maybe an idea of a body sitting down discussing things again might be prevalent, but it also might not change anything.
KRS is definitely qualified
There's a few.
today.
Grandmaster Cass.
I mean, Africa Bambaataa was the one who did it. So I mean, he. What about Cool Herc?
I would give him the respect.
Yeah.
Grandmaster Flash.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. There's
It
several
could be a
people.
committee. It could definitely be a committee.
Maybe that's something that needs to happen at the 50th anniversary. The 50th anniversary, which is when?
August 11th.
August 11th. Right. 50th anniversary of hip hop.
Where are we going to be that day? Somewhere.
I don't know. I know I'm going to be on the cruise.
Oh, August 11th?
Nope.
Oh. I'm thinking, see, he switching stuff up. I'm like, wait a minute.
I know
That's
that for a fact.
That's November. Yeah, okay.
I'm going to be on the cruise. Oh, and we going to be where?
At the festival.
At the festival.
Oh, yeah. That's August.
August the 5th. In Queens. Forest Hill Stadium.
I got to get tickets. Did you get a price?
Yeah.
What's the price?
I don't remember.
You bought?
Listen, nigga.
You said no price yet.
I sent you the pre-sale link.
And I said, how much?
We didn't have a price then, but I think
I sent you the
yeah.
pre-sale link to sign up to get notified when everything went on sale, and then you can see all the information. You said, just judging by the date, oh, this might work.
Mm-hmm.
Then the morning of the pre-sale, it started at 10 o'clock. We start texting early. Nothing. Jermaine said something. Shadow ain't say nothing. I think Jermaine, you said you called Shadow,
I
right?
called. Yeah, he said he was tied up at work.
Nobody called me.
Not tied. You know what I mean? Tied.
He was busy. He was busy. Cause that boy, you gotta ask questions when you hear those kind of words.
He might have been tied up at work.
Tied up while working anyway. But all right, I need to go on there and see them.
Yeah, they still got tickets.
Is general admission?
Is it?
Huh.
No, we got seat numbers, I believe.
Right. But they up high though. They up high. But
They
it don't
wasn't that
matter.
high.
It
They
don't-
were in the middle.
Yeah.
They weren't on a floor level. But anyway, we'll look all that up. I can tell you exactly where we at.
So to recap, there are 5 current elements of hip hop, 5 pillars, which are MCing, DJing, breakdancing, graffiti, and beatboxing.
Correct.
And there should be a 6th one in there, which is fashion.
There's an argument for it, yes.
And everything else, drinking, smoking,
Language with
Language.
what did that
Drinking
say?
and smoking
Yes.
went with music, period. Jazz music, any kind. So
Yeah, everybody
it's
does
not part
that.
of hip hop. Yeah,
Everybody does.
that's not a hip hop element.
and
That's what music do. There's some jazz music and drink and smoke. They'll do it. Out to all you jazz artists out there,
I was about to say, God, what about cocaine?
not hip hop. That was a white drug first.
First.
There's a white drug.
But that was before hip hop.
Correct.
Yeah, that was prevalent in the disco scene.
And cocaine came. It
Or
didn't-
rock and roll.
In the Studio 54.
rock and roll did
days.
LSD and heroin more than cocaine.
Yeah.
Cocaine used to be kind of expensive back in the day.
And LSD and all that wasn't?
You know, that back then it was easier to make.
Huh.
And I never did it, so I'm just letting y'all know.
He
None of-
says that now.
I ain't none of that stuff. I was an athlete.
Yeah, you're redefining shit, right?
Well, he said we're gonna redefine, right?
Yeah, that's why I
In
said that.
today's
In
world,
today's world.
it's today's price.
Yo, I saw when they made We Are the World, I just saw a video today on Instagram, and they were going off on a tangent. They started singing what's that, Harry Belafonte's wasn't it Harry Belafonte who said Dale?
Yes,
Right.
banana song, banana song.
Right. And that was on
Big
Instagram.
banana, and we
Instagram.
wanna go on. I got the good supply in the house right now. We're going to pick and pick until we don't know
it-
how.
Was that really the lyrics? Huh? Are you serious? I don't know about that. Okay, I believe.
That's what I always heard.
If you enjoyed, liked, or want to participate
Yes, please comment on this.
in the 5 elements, 6 elements
5 elements.
Or your argument as to why there should be more.
of hip hop, comment below.
Like and subscribe.
But listen, if you are going to comment as to adding or subtracting, please also put your reason why. And leave a way to contact you because we might do that.
You want a way to contact you?
If they have a good argument, why not bring him in?
Guest speaker.
That's gonna be my man. Huh?
You see now everybody around the nation. Yo, man, I know he got some
Inspiration.
things to say. He's been there from the start.
Right.
Shout out to RC LaRock. He's been there from the beginning.
The beginning?
In the
In the
beginning. One of the
beginning.
original pioneers of hip hop.
Right.
And he's still doing his thing.
Long ass rap.
From New York, but was prevalent in Philly.
Yeah, man. Philly put him on the map.
Right.
And he still holds the longest continuous verse without a break, right?
Yes.
In the Guinness Book of World Records.
I don't know about
I don't know
that.
about that.
I haven't
but
checked. That's a good history look.
I don't know if they even did that, but
Just continuous without taking that break.
and he's doing it today.
Tune it today.
He's doing it today.
50
Right.
plus.
Probably had a show last night.
No,
real rap.
No, seriously, no, you're right. He goes everywhere.
Real rap.
And he does the whole thing. He doesn't
Although
stop.
he usually send me his flyers when he's having a show, because he's hitting the Philly circuit
Mhm.
hard.
Oh, Philly loves him. Philly
Mhm.
loves him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Next show, top 5 dead or alive. No, yeah, what top 5? Top 5?
No, you gotta be dead or alive. No.
Man, I don't have a top 5.
You can't.
My-
Let's restrict it. It gotta be restricted. It's too. That's too broad. You're talking to thousands of hip hop artists. You want to pick 5? That's not.
Oh, it could be done.
But I don't think you're ever going to get a consensus
No.
to make it. Where you can,
No.
Like we can get a consensus about the 5 elements. That's
Okay.
more likely.
So I'll have the top 50 MCs list.
From who? There's hundreds of lists, and they all
Well,
different.
They come out every year though.
Yeah,
From who? Who's the source?
What source? You can look at 10 different
So we'll
top
pick
50, and one of them will have Nicki Minaj at number 9, and one of them won't have Nicki Minaj in it at all.
we'll pick 3. 3 to 5. We'll pick 3 to 5.
So we're going to do a little extra homework. We're going to pick those 3. Then we're going to consent to what names are all in common in their rank. If all 3 of them don't have those names, let's just take them off and say, okay, we look at the top 50 from these 3 sources, and between these 3, these 24 were consistent. So let's talk about these 24. Let's do it like that. Cool?
I'm with it.
And that way we have more focus. And everybody's going, like you said, everybody's going to have different people on the list, off the list, because Nicki wouldn't be on my top 50 either.
Mine either.
Not saying she's not a good lyricist, but she's just not my top 50.
Right.
So
No, she wouldn't be involved in 50. No.
I would sit down and look at it and think about it. But right now,
And this is strictly from
well, you know what? Maybe
our point of view, obviously,
Mhm.
but we go back to the beginning, because how many people's going to have Melly Mel? How many of today's people's going to have
Very few.
somebody like
None.
Melly Mel on
Very
it,
few.
or Grandmaster Kaz, or
Mhm.
some of them dope ass MCs
MCs
from
that
back
was
in
on
the
They
day.
don't even know who Melly Mel is.
Right. That's
Right,
what
exactly.
I'm saying.
So that's what we're
Yeah.
saying. So we got to
That's what I'm
find
saying.
the common names on the lists, and then we can say these people were left off the list, and say, what about them? Would they make the list?
Right.
We
If
can-
I
we can
say,
do that.
yeah, I got Sean Price at number 38. Be like, who? Sean Price.
Yep.
Big L. You mean LL Cool J? Nah.
No,
I mean
it-
Big
it's
L.
all right.
You know
right,
what I mean?
Right.
They would have no idea.
And
You weren't. I think you might have went upstairs or something. Did you hear me when I said that? I forget who was on. I was listening to
yeah.
Destroy. I was listening to Destroy on Shade 45. You heard it?
No. You and Steve was talking about it,
me
right?
and Steve was talking.
He
about
was
it.
on. Him and the song with him and Big Daddy Kane was on.
Yeah. But,
I was in the
but the
family
interview-
room
the
talking to
interview-
Dan.
The interview that I was listening to on Shade 45.
Mm-hmm.
I forget the artist who was on there, but they were saying how Big L at that time was more prevalent than Jay-Z.
In New York?
Yeah, because Big L was signed
yeah.
and Jay-Z was not. Somebody said something to the effects of Big L was actually about to get signed to Rockefeller or something like, I don't know, something that they were saying. Well,
That's Jay-Z shit.
And another
Right.
thing too, to go
And
back,
and Dame.
With
Shout
the-
out to Dame Dash.
Dame Dash, yeah, definitely got to shout him out. But another thing, with the list is going to probably most likely be based off of Billboard or some sort of radio play versus because there's artists down south, artists on the West Coast that were ruling, but they didn't get to play over here as much as they did in the West Coast. So there's going to be a lot of names that are going to come up that people are going to say, what about so-and-so? Because where they were huge. But everybody won't necessarily know about them as being as big as they were. Like for Exhibit, we all know him, but he was real big on the West Coast, bigger than what we knew him to be on the East Coast, even though he was prevalent. But he was huge over there. Mad respect. So, and a lot of those underground tapes, stuff like that, I get that. But we're going to have that probably come up as arguments and discussion too, because we only get to hear certain things. We don't hear everything.
All right, I got a question, and I know this is for the next topic, but how many of the Wu-Tang is in your top 50 as solo artists?
How many?
Wu-Tang, I would say.
First off, before we get out of here,
Native members of Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang.
I knew it.
You got to put Ghost,
Ghost is definitely on the list.
Raekwon, and Meth in there. And
I like RZA, but he's not a top 50.
right.
I like him.
Right. Me too. And Jizz. I fucks with Jizz
too, yeah.
But Inspector Deck,
Is he top 50?
I wouldn't put him in the top 50.
But he's dope.
Dope as shit.
Yeah.
Dope as shit.
Yeah. I agree.
Dope as shit. The Rebel INS. Shout out.
They got members in here that I didn't even know existed. Mathematics.
He was
So
Wu-Tang?
So the original, what was it, 9?
Looks like.
So we got Meth, ODB, right? We got Jizz and RZA. That's 4.
I'm gonna read them off right here.
All right, go ahead.
Count them off. Old Dirty Bastard, the RZA, Ghostface Killer, Raekwon, the Jizza, Method Man, Inspector Deck, Master Killer. You got Capadonna.
11.
So Capadonna and Master Killer were not a part of the original. You got was, so it was 9.
Okay. And then they have Mathematics.
And Capadonna was,
DJ
I
Simpson.
believe he was in jail. He was supposed to be, but he was in jail, I believe.
But they claim what,
When the
14
original-
total?
But he's the he's like the 10th member, and Redman is the unofficial 11th member.
Yeah, but there's they claim to have a total of 14 or something like that.
Well, you got Shaheem.
Oh,
Right. They were all like official.
Yeah, you got what's the boy you met down the
up at the Guitar Center.
Judah
Priest.
Judah Priest.
Right.
So
It was nice, but not 50, and probably not even 100. But he
No.
nice.
But I'm just saying, as the Wu-Tang Clan.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm talking about those 9. How many would you have?
Let's give 10. Let's give 10 because
Capadonna.
yeah.
Okay.
Let's add 10.
10.
Give him that respect.
3.
3.
I'm thinking 3 or 4.
3. I say 3.
3 for sure.
Meth, Raekwon, and Ghost.
And Ghost, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't include.
Now those 3. Who's your first? I'm gonna go with Ghost. Ghost or Raekwon first for me.
Shit.
He's not on the list.
So my favorite is Ghost, but I don't always go with my favorite, because like my favorite rapper is Cool G Rap. That's my favorite.
He's
MC.
definitely top 25 for me.
But I think KRS is the dopest MC. You know what I mean? I think based on catalog and longevity and all that.
And just the intelligence of his lyrics.
Yeah, I think he's my number 1 MC, but Cool G Rap was my favorite.
Because there's a lot of
to
rappers out there who can put words down that rhyme and even meet the beat, but it doesn't mean they're saying something.
Mm-hmm.
You got a fly on your head, brother. You going.
Yeah.
Where would you put Rap and Duke? Say
1.
Da.
And on that note, comment below where you will put the rapping Duke. Yo,
whose daughter
flies on your head.
whose daughter is actually dope.
Oh, who's
No,
his
no, I'm
daughter?
sorry. That's Orange Juice Jones. Sorry, Orange Juice Jones' daughter can sing her butt off better than he could.
All right, wrap it up,
we
man.
talk about hip hop.
I know. I was thinking about somebody's daughter. I got the guys mixed up.
How you get Orange Juice
Because
Jones?
him and Rapping Duke are about the same level to me. That's why they're in the same level.
No, they not.
Yeah, they are.
Orange Juice Jones and the rapping Duke.
Hey,
Orange Juice
hey,
Jones. had-
Pop. Wrap
Wrap it up.
man.
Jesus. I don't know
He wasn't
about
on my.
that.
He wasn't on my top 50 list either.
Who? Rabbit
Jesus.
Jesus?
Yeah.
I thought he was.
That's ODB.
Yo, if you enjoyed this,
I thought it was Darren.
comment below. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Holla at your boys. This is Pop,
Pops.
And J Pop,
and we are the
grandpops of hip hop.
I'm
I'm sorry, the Grimpops.
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 Grandpops of hip hop. Grandpops.
Say grandfathers.
Grandfather.
Say grandpops.
Grandpop. Grand. Crown Royal.
I just say
How about
shout out to
that?
Crown Royal. Thank you, Crown Royal. Appreciate you, man.
Holla at
Hey,
your boys.
Crown Royal, reach out.
And remember, what we supposed to remember? Huh? Supposed to remember something.
Yeah. Never, ever, ever eat yellow snow.